Be a weenie. You definitely do not like the idea of wading into a monster fight, not even to save the progenitor of your new friend's species. In fact, you don't like that Bronya is so focused on protecting all these helpless toddlers and distressed animals instead of taking care of you. You stammer out that you don't think you can take on any kind of monster right now. In fact, you just felt another stab of pain in your ribs. You might be blacking out. Bronya's concerned face turns in your direction as you start to swoon. She catches you before you hit the ground, and your heart flutters. You look up at her serious face, and she looks like such a mom, but also such a friend, like some sort of combination of these two concepts.
Yikes, you don't look so good. I can't leave you alone, not when you're in such bad shape. Maybe I could carry you on my back while I try to stop the rampaging Lussus.
Your heart flutters turn to pinpricks of alarm. That sounds dangerous, mainly for you. You try to think of what you can say to dissuade her, something other than, I think you should ignore the helpless babies and mother in danger behind you in favor of continuing to hold me in your strong arms. But before you can speak, you hear a commotion behind her. She turns to look over her shoulder, and her face sags with relief.
Yes, the other Jades are here. They should know what to do. We've taken care of crises like this before. Of course, usually I'm there to help.
If you crane your neck, you can just glimpse a crowd of trolls corralling the rogue Lusses away from the mother grub, while other trolls calm the remaining Lussi and swoop up any wigglers in harm's way.
It looks like I needn't have worried. They're more than capable of stepping in while I'm otherwise occupied. I'm so proud!
You take this opportunity to compliment her on what a good leader she must be to have trained the others so well. Super smooth. She beams at you and sets you down carefully on the cavern floor, kneeling at your side.
This could have gone quite badly. I'm glad I didn't make the wrong choice when I stayed to help you instead of rushing off. It just goes to show sometimes the best thing you can do for the group is to take care of the weakest person in it.
You kind of want to object to being called the weakest person, but you did just fake a fainting spell for attention, so maybe now isn't the best time. Instead, you thank her sincerely for sticking by your side. The two of you watch together as order is gradually restored to the chaos below, and even with your injuries, you feel close to content and hopeful about how this relationship is progressing. You notice that at your side, several wigglers are blindly squirming around, confused and crying. There are some young trolls here too, looking around all lost and bereft. You're not sure if their Lussi ran off with the others that got involved in the fracas, or if these little guys are orphans now. Now that you're seeing them out in their natural cavern light, the wigglers look less like maggots to you. In fact, they're even kinda cute. You can see why Bronya would want to take care of them. One of the smallest wigglers closest to you has somehow flipped himself over onto his back and seems unable to right himself, his little legs waving in the air while he cries. Trying to be careful with your ribs, you reach out to scoop him up and cradle him to your chest, rocking him back and forth until his cries quiet down.
Wow, you have a very strong nurturing instinct. I think he likes you. You almost look like you could be his Lussus, or a Jade Blood.
You are pleased that she approves of your caretaking display. The wiggler's cough breaks through your haze of smug satisfaction, and when you look down, you realize that he seems to be having some trouble breathing. You point this out to Bronya.
Good observation. You really are a natural at taking care of other creatures, aren't you? Some people find that nurturing ability to be very attractive in a potential friend. But as for the wiggler, this is definitely not a good sign. I'm surprised none of these drones have noticed that he's sick. If we leave him here, he'll be culled for sure.
Bronya takes the wiggler from you, and you're more than happy to hand him over, considering that you have no idea what to do with a sick baby that's not your species. Also, your broken ribs make holding a baby kind of painful, and Bronya holds the wiggler carefully, but with perfect ease, just like you hope she'll cradle your new friendship in its infancy. Once Bronya feels assured that her Jades have the situation at the brooding caverns under control, you both take the wiggler back to the Jade Blood Nursery. You hover around uselessly while Bronya sets up some kind of crib filled with green slime. You're a little concerned when she takes the wiggler and submerges him under the slime, because, he was already having trouble breathing? Surely drowning in slime won't help?
The soaper should help strengthen his bellow sacs and soothe his sorrow shoot. When he gets healthy again, I'll take him back to the cavern and set him free to make his cocoon and pupate. But he's so small, it's unlikely that he'll survive the trials or be selected by a Lussus.
You hate to see Bronya looking sad. You try to be sympathetic, mentioning your astute observation that this whole system set up with the Wigglers and the trials and the culling seems pretty brutal.
What? Oh no, I would never suggest. This is just the way the world works, and it's fine! It's fine! The trials are how young trolls prove that they're strong enough to survive. It's only right for the weak to be culled. It's the purpose of Jade Bloods to ensure the continuation of our species, and consequently, the hemospectrum. 1. We are not revolutionaries. 2. We're meant to do our jobs and keep our heads down and keep things running smoothly. 3. I would never presume to question the basic tenets of Alternian society. That would bring negative attention from the High Bloods, and I just want to keep my Jade safe.
You look around at the nursery and all these injured or underdeveloped Wigglers that Bronya was apparently supposed to let die. You think it might not be true that she doesn't question the way her world works. She's looking at you like she's scared you'll call her out on it and expose her altruistic tendencies. You try to salvage this conversation thread. Did you say that culling Wigglers sounded brutal? You meant neutral! Yes, you feel 100% neutral on this topic, neither committed to the culling side of things nor eager to take up arms in revolution.
Ah yes, neutral is how I feel about it as well. What a good word to describe exactly how I feel about all controversial political subjects. Did I mention that keeping this nursery isn't technically illegal? Because it isn't, technically. There is no reason for any of Triz's drones to come investigating our hive, and if any drones do come knocking, we have nothing to hide. No borderline revolutionary ideas will be tolerated within these walls.
Bronya laughs nervously and looks around the room, like she's making sure that any Imperial drones hiding in here heard her announcement. You feel bad for how nervous she is. You didn't mean to freak her out. You tell her that she sounds super convincing, and why shouldn't she? Because she's clearly telling the truth. If you were an Imperial drone, you would definitely be satisfied right now with her clearly law-abiding and neutral ways.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You cast about for something to change the subject, and mention that your ribs are feeling a bit better. Bronya's face brightens, and she lifts up your arm gently so she can touch the injured part of your torso, examining it in her typically responsible and authoritative way. You shiver and wonder if her touch has healing properties.
I'm glad to hear that. After all, I don't like it when my friends suffer.
Your heart leaps. You look up, scarcely allowing yourself to hope. Could it be? Or was she just making a general statement?
If you're not in any more pain, hopefully that means that your injuries will heal soon. I'll take care of you until then, my friend.
You are overcome. Your eyes fill with tears. Bronya smiles at you and squeezes your hand.